Speaking of scams, Chris Cody was explaining here well, you heard this during
where it usually goes. I mean,
during the break, the scams around Stugotz involved lying to your significant others about what you're watching.
Oh no, we're talking about this back here. So sometimes I watch a show and with my wife, and I love it so much, and my wife, doesn't have as much time to watch stuff as I do sometimes. So I want to move ahead without her. Yeah. I want to watch. I have to watch this next episode of Ted Lasso, and then when it comes down time that she can watch it, I'll just pretend like I haven't seen it. And I realized, I literally said this. I thought I was admitting something incredibly shameful, and everybody popped up. I've done that once. I've done that, so apparently it's a thing.
Yeah, it's entertainment infidelity almost, right? And we were talking about entertainment infidelity. The way that it started was I said, and at the time I thought it was like a controversial thing. I go, I have something, like, I don't know if I want to admit this out loud. I feel like other people might say it, but it's not something we can talk about. I don't love watching shows with my significant other all the time if it's something that I like, because of that situation where then we have to sync schedules, right? And it's usually like I'll find a show that I like and my wife will be like, oh, I want to watch. And it's like, okay, sure, like let's enjoy this together, right? And then like we get 2-3 episodes in and then like she'll fall asleep and then I'll be like, well, I want to know what happened. So I'll keep going, right? Or like I'll get home a little bit earlier the next day and I'm like, well, I need to know what happened. Like we ended on a cliffhanger. Like I can't watch a show that ends with to be continued and just let that exist in the universe for 4 days until we can catch back up to it, right? So like maybe I'll go and watch an episode or two. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Then maybe an episode or two turns into I finish the entire season, right? Mm-hmm. And then like my wife comes back and I can't be like, hey, while you were doing XYZ for our family, I was here just watching television and I was having entertainment infidelity, catching up on shows. So I have to, like Chris says.
Now you have to act all shocked when things happen.
Exactly right.
Like, what?
Yeah. So like,
can you believe that?
Seeing it for the first time.
So it's a tricky thing, right? Because like then you get in a situation where then you get asked the question at some point, like, did you watch more? Like, did you see this? And it's like, well, how far do I carry out this lie? Like, do I say yes? Because then I'll deal with those ramifications. Mm-hmm. Do I say no? Mm-hmm. If you say no, which is usually the move, like, no, I just want to, right? You say no, and then you sit back and you rewatch the episode, right? But then if it's at a certain point of the night, I don't know if you guys have run into this. If it's at a certain point, then we start getting tired again. Yeah. And then we start falling asleep again. And like, I know either a good thing is coming or I know I'm 3 episodes ahead. We need to catch up today. Like, let's go, wake up. So like you just start like nudging, like, hey, like the time with the Jimmy Buffett thing, the cheeseburger in paradise. You guys remember that story?
I don't. So I'd like you to stop talking for a second. Jessica, what are your thoughts? Jessica, well, I
just getting cooking.
He was just starting. It's just so annoying. Jessica, do you
only had 17 minutes to go?
Do you lie to your significant other about entertainment infidelity?
Wait, I want to hear more about what Billy was saying.
Yeah, me too.
Nah, I'm done.
I don't know the cheeseburger in paradise story.
Someone at the Jimmy Buffett concert fell asleep, and the question was whether you should wake them up to hear Cheeseburger in Paradise.
He was wearing a cheeseburger head.
Oh,
he was there for the song.
You got it. That's a huge part of
it.
So the point is, the larger point is, you then need to you either need to wake up or you need to be like, hey, you need to catch up because I can't do this for 4 days and keep watching the same episode over and over
then
again.
You'll get too far ahead.
Can I ask you guys a question? Why can't you say, hey, I watched a couple episodes.
No.
I'm willing to watch
Grounds
them
for
again
divorce.
with you.
Yeah.
I got news for you. They know when you're lying.
No,
they
That's
do.
not true.
Yeah.
They don't.
No, it's true.
I was telling Billy and Chris and Jer Bear and Tony that I read ahead on Wikipedia what was going to happen during a show on Netflix that I was watching with my boyfriend, and I just pretended like I knew who the bad guy was. I was like, I feel like he's bad news.
See, that's another level of lying because it's unnecessary, right? At least
totally
You're going to wait too much.
In the case of Billy, at least he watched the show. You're like, I'm not even going to watch the show. I'm going to read ahead and then pretend
I was
to be.
That guy seems suspicious.
Let me tell you guys something.
That seems like the worst of the lies, though, to pretend so deeply that you have seen things.
It's also like a teen drama, and everyone saw that coming, so it wasn't like that big of a. I'm watching Outer Banks.
What is the worst of the lies, though? I think the worst of the lies is pretending like you haven't watched it and then correctly guessing mystery plot twists.
Oh, I think I've done that. I think I might have done that.
Why would you do that?
All right. My worst example of this is my wife I watched the entire first season of Ted Lasso and didn't tell my wife. This is like a 3-month affair I was having with Ted Lasso. And then
Stop it.
And then I'm like, we gotta watch this. And then so I had the whole season banked when we started it. Because honestly, I did this because I enjoyed the season. Like normally, I might do the Stugotz and be like, look, I watched this. You gotta watch it. It's really good. But it was so good that I was willing to watch it again. So and I may have a couple times. I don't remember any specifics, but like, I feel like this is gonna happen. Like,
Nate
predicted
guy.
something. Like, God, I'm the worst looking back on it now.
Why?
I don't know. There's nothing like being right on a when you predict the show.
You pretend
if you're watching The Departed, you're like, hey man, I got a bad feeling about this elevator.
Roy Kent. I bet he's got a soft side.
Don't. Billy's looking at me different now. I'm just like you.
Like, why?
I'm just like you.
I slipped up. It's not who I am.
No, but
disappointed.
You watched it and pretended not to rewatch it. The next season was not out yet.
I watched it. Yeah, I watched it before the entire season.
We're like, people are saying this is good. We should give it a try together. We'll enjoy it, I think.
Let me tell you guys something. When it comes to entertainment infidelity, I'm the Tristan Thompson of this shit.
Wow.
I am amazing.
Really?
I will watch the shit out of anything and then pretend like I didn't. And here's the key. Most people, you guys, I can already hear it. You know why you get in trouble? You're talking too much.
That's the thing.
You're talking. Just shut up and sit there.
I didn't get caught, actually. Saying it now is revealing, and she might hear this. But
I'm a bad liar. I always get caught. And my wife will ask me multiple times, did you see this already? I'm like, no. And she, did you see? And
But
it's
what
like,
are you doing?
can we
You're
just
doing,
finish?
Billy,
Like,
you're
I get
doing
through?
something,
He's
Billy.
talking.
What's your tell? You're doing
My
something.
tell is I try to get her to finish the episode so I can move on with my life and move on to the next episodes. I have a deadline.
honey, wake up! I have a feeling something big's
Exactly
happening right here.
I'm
Honey,
like, come on.
Billy,
major plot points coming.
her falling asleep is the best thing to happen because then you can play it off like,
No.
yeah, that happened when you were sleeping.
Yeah, no, yes, but then the next day she wants to see what she missed. So we're rewatching the same episode every night, and I'm like,
Now you're watching the third time?
I watched the same episode like 4 times.
You can
That's
only
why.
sell it so many times.
Exactly right. That's why I'm like, hey, come on. We got to finish watching this episode because I know the next day I'm going to watch 2 more episodes.
Plot points. Wake up.
Do you guys have? I have like the opposite problem with this sometimes, where I want to watch a show that my boyfriend doesn't like, and so I look forward to him like going out of town so I can just binge like 7 episodes. This most recently happened with The Last of Us. He does not like the show. He just doesn't like it. And I was like, oh, I really want to watch. Like, there's 2 episodes left, so I watched the second to last episode, which is like really
The second to Last of Us?
intense. Exactly. And he was just like in the like kitchen half watching it, and then it ended, and he was like, why did you make me do this? And I'm like, you know what? He's got a point. The show is a lot.
See, your lie there is when he says he has to go somewhere, you have to act disappointed. Like, oh, no,
Exactly.
you have dinner plans tonight? No.
I'm like, oh, you're going out of town for a whole week? Oh my gosh. I'm like, I'm going to watch so many movies.
I'm in a deeply devoted relationship with my wife in entertainment. I don't watch.
I was just
Big
going to ask the
mistake.
Step
group.
out,
I was
Big
going to ask
mistake.
the group, like, what percentage
Once
do
I
you
pop,
guys?
I can't stop.
You're not better than me.
What percentage of commonalities do you guys have? Like, who would be in our room least likely to be compatible with their spouse on viewing interest? Because this can get very difficult if you and your spouse only agree on like 30% of
My
stuff.
wife cheats on me all the time with entertainment. All the time. There's a million shows that she watches that I don't watch, but
You
I don't
cheat
watch any
back.
shows without her.
I think
Content cuck.
I think, Dan, you got it wrong. You got it wrong. Wow.
I got cucked by Emily in Paris.
Do you like watching her watch other shows?
No.
We all got cucked by Emily in Paris.
Watching her watch a show.
Does she have friends? Does your friends come over and watch?
Does she have to tell you when as long as she's honest, right? As long as she's open and tells you when it's happening.
I got
Sit in the
cucked by the
corner.
marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
You sit in a corner in an armchair, just you can't even see the screen. You're like facing her. No, but Dan, like I think if you guys don't,
I'm just peeking out from a closet watching Mrs. Maisel.
if you're not aligned,
Just in that one weird hotel chair in the corner.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. With the light right above it.
It's the God Forbid movie that Corbin did. Just your Jerry Falwell.
If you're not aligned on watching things, then that's the perfect situation because then everyone just watches whatever they want. It's when you're too aligned. It's like, oh, I love that show. Me too. Oh crap! Now I have to do it at your pace. That's the.
So
sin.
you love when
Yeah.
you watch a show together and you love it and she hates it. Like that's That's Nirvana.
No, it's not that like we watch it together. It's that we watch our own shit.
I don't have the time to watch my own
No,
shit.
I kind
don't
of agree with
understand.
Amin. You kind of have to have your things, and they have to have their
Yeah.
things. Like my
Yeah.
boyfriend likes the Knicks, and he watches
Jesus.
that, and then I
That's
give him
easy to skip.
I give him time to do that while I watch my shit in the other room.
Second TV. Second TV. I watch Heat and Panthers on the second and third TV. So sports would be that thing for me.
We don't all have like 3 TVs hanging on
you
one
gotta
wall in
do
our
it.
house.
Also, by
That's
the way,
on you.
I
mean,
can't do it.
4.
I cannot have multiple TVs on
Same.
a wall and watch.
Have you ever been to a sports bar?
I know, but I
How do you
did-
live? You're like, I can't deal with
No,
this.
no, that's different because
But you have a separate room with another television, right? You
Yeah.
can watch
There's a
there.
reason why a sports
Right.
bar is a sports bar and your house is your house.
I was watching John Wick Chapter 2 while I was watching CONCACAF Champions League, and I saw a holler from the goalkeeper, and I did the DiCaprio thing.
I would get nothing. I would get nothing from both. I would get nothing in the movie, and I would get nothing from the game. What happened? I don't know. Like the goalie shot someone. I don't know. Like that's how my brain works.
No, it's too hard to watch 2 videos on screens next to each other at the same time. Now, going on TikTok on your phone while
One
there's
at a time.
TV playing, different size screens. For some reason, my brain processes
Sports
that.
too, though. I would think the sports next to each other
Depends on
are-
the sport, though.
I couldn't do. One of my friends growing up had like 15 TVs in his basement, and we would always like go over there and watch college football. And I was like, honestly, I feel like I go home at the end of the night and I'm like, I don't remember a
You
single thing.
can't
A lot of
do
questions about that,
do
Ridiculous.
sports
It
and
was
The
stupid.
Last of Us. You can't
Yeah,
do both
sure,
of
you
those.
can.
No, you
Golf.
can't.
Golf.
I did
Yeah.
No, you
last.
can't.
I did Last of Us and Heat Jazz. Just occasional glance,
See,
and
the
then during
NBA
crunch
is
time a
no,
little
the
bit
NBA
more.
is too tricky. I think golf you could do it. Major League Baseball. you
Golf
could
is the
do it.
worst for me.
Really?
Golf and F1 on mute is just like because I need to know what the commentators are telling me because I don't know the sports well enough.
I don't
Yeah.
know
You
what
don't
I'm
need to
looking
listen
at.
to golf.
Well,
You
like
literally
F1
just-
certainly like.
oh, birdie.
Yep, they're going round and round.
Oh.
Oh, this person's in the DRS zone. What is the
But
DRS
golf
zone?
and baseball have enough. Well, baseball used to enough slow patches that you might be able to do it. You can't do this with basketball or hockey
yes,
where
I
you're
can.
watching
Agreed.
drama.
That can't I do
Agreed.
on the
Just
reg.
last 2 minutes of basketball is all you really
Wait, we're
need.
already
That's-
calling baseball a fast sport now?
Yeah.
I like that.
I have highlights
Fastest
sometimes
sport
up
in the
there.
country.
I have college baseball sometimes. Yeah, I do it all the time. I'm very well versed in this. It's very
But
easy.
how much do you actually retain?
From The Last of Us, I know everything.
No, I mean like
The
when you're
sports.
watching
From the
like
sport?
3 different sporting events at once, like there's just no way you can retain all of that.
I'm sure I'm not retaining all of it, but the idea is to not retain all of it. The idea is to follow it, and if it comes up in conversation, given what the job is, like I can hold my own because I saw a combined 20 minutes from the game.
I wouldn't know anything.
Put it on the poll, Juju, at LeBatard Show. Can you watch
either.
a drama on one television and sports, an entire game on the television next to it? Not that this is the best source on this stuff, but I believe the comedian Adam Carolla has said the key to a successful marriage is televisions in different rooms.
He's right. Yeah. I mean, especially
How
for
many
me.
successful marriages has Adam Carolla had?
Also, how old is Adam Carolla? Televisions, like everyone's got like a television in their pocket. That's the thing. I was surprised by Jess. I'm like, Jess, what do you mean? Like, oh, I can't watch it
he
with
divorced
Lehman.
in 2021.
You guys, do you even have a TV, Jess?
Carolla?
To be honest with you,
Yes, I don't have cable, but I have a TV.
I like in my mind, all you have are like tablets and like devices that you can carry with you. You don't actually have like a real TV.
Like young people have TVs.
Do they?
They just don't have cable.
How about that?
Yeah.
Let's
I watch
talk.
YouTube on a TV these days too, by the way.
What?